We're shaking, people. Back with another reaction, back with some more Pat Benatar. And we're going back to the 1984 album Tropico. Once again, shout out to Han Solo for sharing this. And we're jumping over We Belong because I reacted to that as part of that 80s compilation that I have. I think I also reacted to Corey Hart's Sunglasses at Night. I don't remember, it's possible that We Belong was also on Best Shots, but I just remember that I reacted to it as part of that comp that I have, which still has some interesting tunes on it that I should get around to. Nevertheless, we're going to jump forward to Painted Desert. It's an interesting phrase. Painted makes me think we are speaking, metaphorically or figuratively. A desert, it can be many things, a long barren stretch in your life. It could be an emotional desert where you're not feeling much. I feel like there's a number of intriguing or even profound metaphors that desert could be used to describe an individual's experience, whether that's internal or external. Nevertheless, a painted desert, it's not a phrase I've heard before, but I enjoy the lyricism of it. So let's find out what it's about. This is Pat Benatar. The track is Painted Desert, and it's from the 1984 album Tropico. Like Spanish style guitar. Different from her. Is like a painted desert. Deadly. I'm lost in a painted desert. In a painted desert without you. I got something. Dead heat, is that what it is? I'm lost in a painted desert. In a painted desert without you. Walking the sundown, I search waiting on a wind that whispers out your name. Through concrete canyon, the world above our faces. No direction looks like home. Where's my oasis? No direction looks like home. Where's my oasis? Oh. Amazing. fills, not sure the proper technical term, but transitional moments with drums. I like a gradual fade, but not if we're getting some instrumental flare-ups like that. Regardless, a cool tune, and one that seems a bit, beyond or outside the alleyways that I've come to expect from her tunes. Which is to say, going into this, my actual greatest memory of her music was "Love Is a Battlefield," which I've come to realize is maybe, I don't want to say anomalous, but it feels like that tune is more kind of 80s synth pop, whereas a lot of other stuff she does, it's got guitar, she, singing very forcefully, it's like synth rock, if not, in some cases, you would just call it like rock and roll. So, yeah, it's been interesting to go through her catalog and get a wider sense of what she does, even having done that to a certain degree, going through a greatest hits compilation, which, generally speaking, I feel like greatest hits compilations, they try to take bits from different albums and maybe some different flavors of an artist's work. But again, this one, I didn't really see it coming. Like, even when it started, it was like, okay, some Spanish guitar, and ultimately, maybe this will relate to the title in some way. And then it was like, oh, there's like I don't know if it was an accordion, but it was kind of like a folk sound. But then it sort of rolled in, and even though it did have a bit of like folk rock kind of twang to some of the guitar work, it was a slower tune. I don't know if you would call it a ballad, but again, it wasn't like, rocking, forceful, hit me with your best shot or some of the other tunes like that, and it wasn't like Love Is a Battlefield either. So yeah, it just seemed like this one was a bit new in terms of some of the musical flavors along the way. And I liked her voice. She had some, like soulful vocal moments. I do like hearing her sing melodic lines where, it's not actual lyrics, it's just, melismatic, like melodic runs. So that was cool as well. And yeah, ultimately be keen to hear, as we go through the rest of this album, how different from some of her hits it is. I did notice that, is it Love Is a Battlefield? I think it's Love Is a Battlefield is on this album. No, I'm wrong. It's not. It's Love in the Ice Age. Okay, I saw the word love when I was looking at the track list earlier, but yeah, it's not. So, oh, and then Painted Desert. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I wondered, she was saying essentially that she's living alone now and she's not with this person, and it's made life feel like this desert, and there's no oasis, there's no like, oh, this is where I belong. She's sort of like wandering aimlessly in the desert of emotional and social life because this person who obviously, a lover or a significant other is now gone from their life. Now, I didn't hear anything that was clearly like it was a breakup, but that's always, I think, the natural assumption. Someone could have passed away, and it could be like, now that you're gone, I don't know what to do. But yeah, it sounded like, barren, the desert was about her emotional life. Because she's talking about living in the city, and she's saying like this city is the painted desert, essentially. But it sounds like it's a desert because despite all the people around her, the person that she wants to be with isn't there. So it's, she's again just like wandering the sands of the desert in her mind. So that's what I picked up on. I'm sure there's some layers I'm missing, but do let me know, about the themes as well. Yeah, a cool tune, and one that perhaps suggests the rest of this album will be, not altogether what I expected. Not that I assumed anything necessarily, but yeah, ultimately, I'm curious to hear the sonics as we go forward. So, in any case, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.